Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Why do they have to move in packs? Harry asked Ron, as a dozen or so girls walked past them, sniggering and straining at Harry. How are you supposed to get one on their own? To ask them. Lesson 1. Ron suggest. Got any idea who you are going to try? Harry didn't answer. He knew perfectly well one he'd like to ask, but working up the nerve was something else. Who was a year old then he was. She was very pretty. She was a very good Quidditch player, and she was also very popular. Ron seemed to know what was going on inside Harry's head. Listen, you're not going to have any trouble. You are champion. You have just beaten a Hungarian horntail. I bet they'll be going up to go with you. In a tribute to their recently repaired friendship, Ron had kept the bitterness in the voice to a bare minimum. Moreover, to Harry's amazement, he turned out to be quite right. A curly haired, third-year half-Lipov girl to whom Harry had never spoken in his life asked him to go to the ball with her the very next day. Harry was so taken aback he said no before had even stopped to consider the matter. The girl walked off looking rather hard, and Harry had to endure Dean's, Sims, and Ron's taunts about her old history of magic. The following day, two more girls asked him a second year, and to his horror, a 50-year who looked as though she might known him out of he refused. She was quite good looking, said Ron fairly. After he stopped lying, she was a foot taller than me, said Harry, still unversed. Imagine what I would look like trying to dance with her. Hermione's word about Krum kept coming back to him. They only like him because he's famous. Harris doubted very much if any of the girls who had asked to his partner so far would have wanted to go to the ball with him if he hadn't been school champion. Then he wondered if his would bother him if Joe asked him. Wonderful. Harry had to admit that even with the embarrassing prospect of opening the ball before him, life and definitely improved since he had got through the first task. He wasn't attacking nearly as much unpleasantness in the corridors anymore, which he suspects had a lot to do with Cedric. He had an idea Cedric might have told the I have the proofs to leave Harry alone in gratitude for Harry's tip off about the dragons. There seemed to be fewer support Cedric Diggory badges around too. Draco Malfoy, of course, was still quoting Rita Skeeter's article and him at a very possible important, but he was getting further and further lost out of it and just to heighten Harry's feeling of well-being. No story about Hagrid had appeared in the Daily Prophet. She didn't seem very interested in magical creatures. Tell yeah, the truth, Hagrid said when Harry, Ron and Hermione asked him how his interview with Rita Skeeter had gone during the last Care of Magical Creatures lessons of term 2. Their very great relief. Hagrid had given up on direct contact with the Screwed Snow, and they were merely sheltering in his cabin today, sitting at a trestle table and preparing a fresh selection of food with which to temper the scripts. She just wanted me to talk about you, Harry, Hagrid continued in a low voice. Well, I told her we'd been friends since I went there huge year from. The Dursley never had to tell him off in your years, she said. Never played you up in lessons, has he? I told her no, and she didn't seem happy at all. Had think she wanted me to say, yeah, very horrible, Harry. Of course she did, said Harry, throwing lumps of dragon liver into a large metal doll and picking up his knife to cut some more. She can't keep reading about what a tragic little hero I am. It'll get boring. She wants a new angel. An angel, Hagrid, said Ron wisely, as he should salamander eggs. You were supposed to say Harry's mad delinquent, but he's not, said Hagrid, looking genuinely shocked. She should we interviewed Snape, said Harry grimly. He'd give her the goods on the on me any day. Potter has been crossing lines ever since he first arrived at this school. Said that, did he? Said Hagrid, while Ron and Hermione laughed. Well, yeah, mind we bend a few rules. Harry, be here, all right, really, aren't you? Cheers. Cheers, Hagrid, said Harry, grinning. You coming to this ball thing on Christmas Day, Hagrid, said Ron. Thought I might look in on it, yeah, said Hagrid, gravely. Should be a good too. I reckon you be opening the dancing one, yeah, Harry. Where are you taking? No one, yeah, said Harry, feeling himself going red again. Hagrid didn't pursue the subject. The last week of term because increasingly boisterous as it progressed. Rumors about the Julie Ball were flying everywhere. Then Harry didn't believe half of them. For instance, then Dumbledore had bought 800 barrels of mulled meat from Madame Rosmerta. It seemed to be fact, however, that he had booked the Weird Sisters. Exactly who or what the Weird Sisters were, Harry didn't know, never having had a case to a wizard's wireless, but he deduced from the wild excitement of those who had grown up listening to the VVN that they were a very famous magical group. Some of the teachers, like little Professor Flitwick, give up trying to teach them much when their minds were so clearly elsewhere. He allowed them to play games in his lesson on Wednesday and spent most of it talking to Harry about the perfect summoning charm he had used during the first task of the Triwizard tournament. Other teachers were not so generous. Nothing would ever deflect Professor Binns, for example, from plodding on towards his notes on goblin ribbons, as Binns' hands led his own death stand in the way of continued to teach. They supposed a small thing like Christmas wasn't going to put him off. It was amazing how he could make even Blobby and Witzig's goblin creates sounds as boring as Percy's cauldron's bottom report. Professors Gonagel and Moody kept then working until the very last second of their classes too, and Snape, of course, would no sooner let them play games in class than about Harry standing nicely around and them all. He informed them that he would be testing them of poison antidotes during to the last lessons of the term. Evil he is, Ron said bitterly that night in the Gryffindor common room, springing a test on us on the last day, running the last bit of them with a wild load of revision. You are not exactly straining yourself, though, are you? Said Hermione, looking at him over the top of her potion's notes. Ron was busy building a car castle out of his exploding snapback, a much more interesting pastime than with muggle cars, because of the change that the whole thing would blow up at any second. It's Christmas, Hermione. It's Christmas, Hermione, said Harry lazily. He was rereading Flying with the Cannons for the 10th time in an armchair near the fire. Hermione looked severely over at him too. I'd have thought you'd be going something constructive, Harry, even if you don't want to learn your antidotes. Like what? Harry sighed as he watched Joy Jenkins of the Cannon's belt blucher toward bell-like castle but chaser. That egg, Hermione hissed. Come on, Hermione. I've got till February the 24th, Harry said. He had put the golden egg upstairs in his trunk and hadn't opened it since the celebration party. After the first task, there were still 2.5 months to go until he needed to know what all the stretchy violin meant after all, but it might take weeks to work it out, said Hermione. You are going to look a real idiot if everyone else know what the next task is and you don't. Leave him alone, Hermione. He's earning a bit of a break, said Ron, and he placed the last 2 cards on top of the castle, and the whole lot blew up, singing his eyebrows. Nice, look, Ron, go well with your death robes, that will. I was Fred and George. They sat down at the table with Harry, Ron, and Hermione, as Ron felt how much damage had been done. Ron, can we borrow Pigwidgeon? George asked. No, he's off delivering later, said Ron. Why? Because George wants to invite him to the ball, said Fred sarcastically. gaily. Because we want to send a letter. You stupid, great brat, said George. Who would you to keep reading to E? Said Ron. Nose out, Ron, or I will then for you too, said Fred, waving his wand tridently. So you lot go dance for the ball yet? Nope, said Ron. Well, you better hurry up, mate, or all the good ones will be gone, said Fred. Who are you going with then? Said Ron. Angelina, said Fred promptly, without a trace of embarrassment. What? Said Ron. Taken aback, you are already asked her. Good point, said Fred. He turned his head and called across the common room. Oh, Angelina, who had been chatting to Alicia, spinning near the fire, looked over at him. What? She called back. Want to come to the ball with me? Angelina gave Fred an appraising sort of look. All right, then, she said, and she turned back to Alicia and carried on chatting with a bit of a grin on her face. There you go, said Fred to Harry, and round piece of cake. He got to his fill yawning and said, "We'd better as a school of 10, George, come on." They left Ron, stopped, feeling his eyebrows, and looked escrow and the smoldering wreck his card castle at Harry. The unexpected task.